I just quit my dream job. This is me. This is the last day I was working as a waiter years ago. And I remember on that day, I swore to myself that I would never do a job I hated so much again. Fast forward, and for the past few years, I've been working what was my dream job. I was working in tech as a product manager. I was building tech products every day. The work was flexible, remote, I could travel, and I was paid more than I could ever dream of, especially since I'm not from New York or San Francisco, but I'm from a small town in Italy. And now, well, I quit. And these are the reasons why. But they are also what brought me here to this point in my career in the first place. Hard work is overrated. A few months ago, I was in Bali. I woke up for this excursion. We have to climb on top of a volcano to see sunset. So I had to wake up at 2 a.m. It was hot and humid, and then it became cold. And on top of this volcano at 6 a.m., as I was watching the sunrise, there was this girl that was selling some snacks, some candy. She told me that this is her job. She goes there every single day to sell snacks. And afterward, she goes to work in the fields. This girl is working harder than me. Is working harder than anyone at my company. Is working harder than anyone I've ever met working in tech. Even people like Elon Musk, which are regarded as these crazy, hardworking people. Well, I think there are many people in the world that are working way harder than them. People that work in fields. People that work in farms, in mines. So that's got me thinking, why was I able to be there? Working while traveling with a nice salary, with all these opportunities. This girl was working way harder than me, but she was not getting the same results. We are told from a young age that we need to work hard. Just work hard and whatever you're gonna do is gonna happen. And that's not true. Because the thing you're working on is more important than how hard you work. See, I was putting all these hours in my day job, but then I realized, is this the right mountain I'm climbing? And a good test, a good way to realize if what you're doing is the right thing, is to look at the person that's one step ahead of you. If you're working as an employee, it might be your manager. And ask yourself, okay, in 3 years or 5 years, would I want to have the same life that this person is having? And I respected my manager a lot. But then I was looking at her day job, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. In 3 years, I may be a director of product at some company, at some startup, but I didn't care for that. It wasn't interesting to me. I was climbing a mountain, but it probably wasn't the right mountain for me. And so this begs the question, how do you find the right thing to work on, the right thing to put your energy or focus into? And this all comes down to opportunities. You all know Bill Gates. One of the most successful people in history, became a billionaire at 21. But one thing that not many people know is that Bill Gates, when he was still studying in middle school, he was one of the few people in the world that had access to a personal computer. His school got one and he got access to it in the 1970s, something that was incredibly rare. He had this incredible opportunity to use a computer, become passionate about it, and then went on to found Microsoft. Also, his dad was one of the most successful and richest lawyers in the area, and it saved Microsoft ass in one of the first big legal cases they had. He saved the company back then. So Bill Gates definitely worked hard, sure, and he was very talented and very smart, but he also had access to the right opportunity. If he wasn't from Seattle, but from, I don't know, Colombia, he wouldn't be the Bill Gates we know today. Same thing for Steve Jobs. It's not a coincidence that he literally grew up in Silicon Valley. He went to an internship at Hewlett-Packard, something that 99.9% of teenagers will never get a chance to do, especially back then. So all of this to say that opportunities are incredibly important. So this begs the question, how do you increase the number of opportunities that come your way? First of all, you need to work hard, you need to be prepared, but how do you do it? Well, I think about it as Flash in Pokemon. For those of you that are not familiar, first of all, shame on you, but Flash in Pokemon works by having this circle of light around you as you navigate the cave. And if you use Flash, then the circle will get bigger and you can see more around you. So I think of whatever you want to do, you want to pick the thing that increases that radius the most, that gives you the most opportunity. But when I looked at the opportunities that my job gave me, well, I could maybe get a job as a product manager at another company. That's great. I could maybe get a promotion someday. Also great. But that was basically it. And then I looked at my YouTube channel. So I've been running this YouTube channel for 3.5 years now. And when I look at the opportunities that this channel gave me, I'm getting literally a job offer every 2 weeks. I'm getting contacted by startups for investing in them as an angel investor. I'm getting contacted by other creators to make videos together and to chat. And the number of opportunities that this very YouTube channel opened for me has been just incredible. It's like having a flash that's extended like 20 times bigger than my job at the startup. And so when I thought, okay, what is the thing that I want to do? What is the thing that increases the number of opportunities for the future that I will have access to? It was kind of a no-brainer to go all in on YouTube. And I'm going to tell you later exactly what is the plan for this channel, for what I'm going to do. And speaking about opportunities, this video doesn't have a sponsor. But if you want to make a donation and give opportunities to people through the power of the internet and technology, you can check out GiveInternet. They give internet access to communities and people that don't have access to it. You can decide to donate just an internet connection or an internet connection and a laptop. I owe a lot of what I am and what I do, my job, this channel, to just having access to the internet. I couldn't imagine life without it. It gives me so many opportunities, allow me to learn so many things, and connects me to the world. So you can check out GiveInternet. The link is in the description. So you can give Flash to someone that is in the dark. But the next thing that really did it for me was realizing that safe jobs don't exist. What is supposed to be the safe job, the safe corporate job, isn't really safe. Your project gets cancelled. Your division gets shut down. The company lays off people. It's happened multiple times. It's happened while I was working at Amazon, which is supposed to be this fancy corporate and stable job. It happened at my startup. There were 2 rounds of layoffs when I was there. Your regular job sounds so safe. Nothing can happen. But in reality, anything can happen at any time. Nobody knows what they're doing. I have another big problem, and that's that I have a huge imposter syndrome. When I look at people that I admire, that I think are being very successful, that did things that I want to do, I'm like, wow, they know so much. They're so confident. They really know what they're doing. But then a few months ago, I got invited to speak at a university. I was speaking with the students that are like 21, 22 years old, and I'm 28, so I'm probably 5, 6 years ahead of them. And when I was speaking there, they were like, wow, you've achieved so much. You've done so many incredible things. This thing that you have said was so revolutionary. And I'm like, really? I'm just winging it here. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's when it really clicked for me. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everyone is winging it. Even the super successful CEO, he's there and he's trying his best. Everyone is doing their best. Even the people that you look up to the most, that you think are most successful, they are struggling with something. They think that maybe, oh, I shouldn't be here. Why am I even in this position in the first place? And when you start to see everyone in this way, even the people that you look up to, even the people that did things that you thought were impossible, that you could never do, it really changes things for you. It makes you feel like, oh, then if everybody's winging it and just trying their best, why can't I just try my best at the thing that I want to do? Find your period's unoptimized resource. So one of the main themes that I hear from every single friend that I have, oh my God, housing is so expensive. I wish I could go back to the 50s and get a house for like 2 strawberries. And that's very true. If you were born in the generation of my grandparents, then getting a house was basically a guarantee of a safe future, a safe investment, something that would grow in value exponentially. Buying a house back then was a cheat code for success. For my parents' generation, what I believe was the cheat code for success was getting a safe job. Back then, if you got a middle-class safe job, you could have a pretty good and decent life. Well, today, I think that's also kind of gone. With an average job, you're not getting the same quality of life. So that got me thinking, there must be something that is a cheat code for this period right here. A research that's not optimized right now, that in the future will look back and will think, oh my God, I wish I did that in 2024. And when I think about this, the internet and also YouTube, in a sense, come to mind as 2 of these unoptimized resources. The internet offers so many opportunities. There's no chance that the most valuable companies in the world are tech companies. Tech salaries are very high, and these to me has been a cheat code. And also if I look at YouTube, YouTube has been an incredible cheat code for many people to achieve success. It gets you a platform, it gets you a way to spread your ideas, it gets you a way of earning money. It can be a starting point for starting other businesses. And I think that YouTube right now is an unoptimized resource. And I don't think it's gonna stay this way forever. So if you're able to spot one of these cheat codes that you can act on right now, that's how you can set yourself up, and people in the future will be, oh, I wish I've done this in 2024. Minimizing your ramen period. So the key difference between any entrepreneurial project and a regular stable job is this. A regular stable job is linear. You get a promotion, maybe you change job, but your income, your results, however you want to call them, will go up linearly. But anything that you do that's entrepreneurial starts off really, really slow. And then it picks up speed and it becomes exponential. But look at this gap right here. In this gap of time, your average job is more technically successful than your entrepreneurial venture. And this is what I call the ramen period. This is where your friend that's working at a safe job is driving a BMW and you're here struggling because your company is not getting off the ground. So you're eating ramen every day, and this is why I called it the ramen period. And so one thing that I really wanted to do is to try to minimize this period right here. And that's why I've been running this YouTube channel, which is right now my current exponential thing that I'm doing. And I've been doing it on the side of my day job for the past 3 years now. Up until 2023, this channel hasn't made any real money, maybe like $20. So if I said I'm gonna leave my job, I'm gonna start this YouTube channel, I'm gonna go full time, then I would have been in a ramen period for a very long time. And it's not only the fact that your daily life is not that great, but it's also the fact that it changes the choice that you make. You end up taking the short-term route that brings you some money now versus the good thing that you should do, but it brings you money or success or whatever that is in the long term. I was able to say no to a lot of companies that reached out trying to promote a product that I wasn't really believing in, because I'm like, no, sorry, I have a salary, I don't need your money to survive, I'm fine. And now I'm at a point where this channel has not yet crossed that line, but is getting really close. Hopefully, most of my ramen period is behind me. So now I feel like it's the right time to do the switch. And that's why I think that whatever you want to do, there's always a way to do it next to your main job. Do you want to open a bakery? Well, why don't you start baking cakes in your own home? And then you can sell them to your neighbors or in your town. And you can sell them online maybe as well through Instagram. Do you want to build a tech company? Well, you don't need $10 million in venture capital. Why don't you just learn how to code and build the first version yourself? And this brings you so much freedom because yes, it's very hard work, but you have the freedom to say no to things, to prioritize the long-term decision and not the short-term ones. And now that I'm very close, I'm not there yet, but I think I'm past most of my ramen period with this YouTube channel. I feel like now it's a good time to make the switch. Levers. So how do you make anything exponential? You can basically use 4 levers. The first one is capital. So if I have $100 million, I can take it, I can invest it in one or multiple companies, and by making strategic investments, my money can grow exponentially. This is the idea behind venture capital funds. And unfortunately, I don't have $100 million right now. So that's not an option. And then there's labor. I can hire 50 people. They can collect rocks from here. We can start a rock collecting company. I can reinvest the profits and make this exponential. Now, I cannot hire 50 people, but for now I started hiring some collaborators to help me with these videos, with editing, with writing. But there are 2 other levers. One is media, and the last one is code. So media is this. I'm making this video once, I'm sitting on top of this mountain, but this very video gets multiplied by hopefully hundreds of thousands of times. Hundreds of thousands of people are gonna watch this video on their devices, and this allows me to scale exponentially. And you know what else does this? Well, computer code. I can write something once and I can have it scale without limits. And these are the 2 levers that I really wanna push on. And so this brings us to, what am I gonna do now? Well, the plan now is to keep working hard. Working on something that brings me a lot of interesting opportunities, which is this YouTube channel. Really use the media lever and bring this YouTube channel to more and more people. Share my ideas, my thoughts with more and more people. Make interesting videos. Hire some people to help me out and really make this go from a side project, just it has been for the last 3 years, to something a bit more structured, a bit more organized. And then step 2 is gonna be building my own product. I wanna get back into coding. I'm a bit rusty on that. I wanna take some design courses and hopefully create a tech product that's interesting. I'm gonna start with software because that's the thing that I'm most familiar with and I work with in the past. And I don't know yet what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna build, but stay tuned and you're gonna find out. And now the sun is setting. It's beautiful here. By the way, if you're a GeoGuessr Pro, one of those people that guess places,
Leave in the comments the exact location and coordinates of where you think I am right now. Closest one will get, I don't know, cookies.
And if you want to keep watching something cool, you can check out this video right here. I'm Enrico, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.